Assalamu alaikum Hazrat, welcome back to Thought Behind Things. आज की episode जो है मैं बहुत excited हूँ personally because I've been following this dude for a very very long time and I was hoping कि ये हमारे स्टूडियो आए और ये आ गए. Before I tell you his name, बड़ी interesting story है जी. अमेरिका में पले बड़े हैं, very very smart guy. He's a doctor and he's also he was an honor student in his high school because of which he actually got his stage name as well. Please welcome Osama Kamlade, sir. How are you?
What up, Muzamil? Pura naam lo?
So Sayyid Osama Karamat Ali Shah, is that correct?
Yes, that is exactly correct. मैं भी pura naam lo? Sayyid, क्या था?
Muzamil
Hasan Zaidi.
Sir, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah?
No,
COVID.
Just kidding. So COVID joke for you.
Yeah.
He didn't give me cool headphones though.
Budget cuts.
It's okay. COVID.
So how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good.
It's cold. As you can see, we got our coats on.
Yeah.
You know, ठंड हो गई है. Say ठीक ठाक.
ठीक ठाक किस्म की. So I'm going to start this off with just a quick conversation on how did you get into hip hop?
How did I get into hip hop? Yeah, funny story. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
All good. My thing was always like pop music. Very funny story.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, I look at you with the beard and the hair.
वो तो because it's I'm like a khichdi of influences, na?
Right.
So from that era of the early to late 90s. So my thing was like because बड़े होते हुए I shared a room with my sister.
अच्छा.
ठीक है तो मेरे और आपा का कोई 7-8 साल का फ़र्क था तो she did nothing but listen to like a lot of Bollywood mix albums.
Achha.
And then switch it over to like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees, NSYNC, you know, all this.
Very interesting.
So main aista sath I was like, you know, my thing was like, yeah, like pop music. Kida har waqt tha, like singing ka and all that, but it really, I would say, like because of her constantly, because वो सुबह क्या करती थी हर सुबह ना, like वो when she used to be getting ready, तो अच्छा उनका ड्रेसर भी ना, आपा का ड्रेसर मेरे बेड के साथ था. We had two beds, separate beds. तो वो सही गाने शाने लगा के स्पीकर मेरे सर पे, मैं छोटा सा बेचारा मतलब सुन रहा आपा प्लीज डाउन तो तकिया मुंह पे दबा रहा हूँ, कोई हाल नहीं. लेकिन you know, eventually the influences were so strong that you know, I was like, you know, pop music, and you remember the pop music of that time was like course. Huge, like especially after like I would say the you know the late 80s, the way like boy bands exploded and like you know, the girl
like
pop stars
Britney Spears, ये तो वो time है जब like they were the biggest stars in history, right?
Huge. मजे की बात, Backstreet Boys and NSYNC दोनों Orlando के हैं. They were Orlando made, like, and that was the city I was when we migrated to America in '93. So we went straight to Orlando. So
just such a nice place, like very retirement home sort of a.
I would compare it to, मतलब मुझे ना सुकून पसंद है और open spaces. I don't like city life. I don't like buildings.
Yeah, New York vibe जो है.
No. Big city is cool. काम शाम के लिए
3-4 दिन के लिए और उसका come back to your life.
मेरी बस हो जाती है. तो वो these guys, they went two of the members of NSYNC and I believe 3 of the members of Backstreet Boys went to high school with my sister. So she was पता नहीं sophomore, which is like 10th grade, तो वो उस time junior senior थे. तो ये उस time ये scene हो रहा था वहाँ.
और वो मतलब she could directly see these people, like she knew these people, so वो तो बहुत directly आपके.
Of course.
Yeah, wow.
So my thing was initially getting back to your question. यार मैं बहुत बोलता हूँ. By the way, this is a warning. I talk a lot. ठीक है. एक ही दफा शायद ये जिंदगी में करूँ, उसके बाद दोबारा नहीं करूँगा. So the way it transitioned into hip hop, अब उस वक्त, अब you know how it is, Pakistani household, music शीज़ेक, मतलब ठीक है सुनते हैं like my बाबा retired Fauji officer, तो वो he used to listen to a lot of Pathan Khan. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Nusrat Fateh Ali, of course, Lata, like all these old school. And then he had like his old school Angrezi.
So ABBA and Boney M?
ABBA, not such, Elvis.
Right.
Like this Elvis compilation. Of course, Michael Jackson. और एक और था मेरे दिमाग से निकल रहा है. But you know, so it was there. Like the influences were always around, but nobody like helped me like water the seed, you know, so to say.
Yeah.
The seed was planted, but nobody watered it.
Yeah.
मेरी ज़्यादा मेरी थोड़ी vocal training अगर उस चीज़ को कह लो वो हम करते थे. We used to have a chorus class in elementary school. Elementary is up your first grade to fifth grade. तो fourth fifth में मैं chorus करता था. मतलब वो पूरी आपकी class जो chorus वो करती है, तो वो उसमें मतलब that was like my maximum जो चीज़ करी. उस पे मज़ीद I didn't get to like really work on it and train on it.
Yeah.
So the transition kind of came during the late 90s when wrestling exploded. The WWF, that early era, the Attitude Era, you know, like the say, that wali era. So it went from wrestling. And plus, hip hop started blowing up at that time. It was always there. Don't get me wrong. Hip hop was always there, but it really came into the mainstream late 90s. So, like, you know, Eminem just came onto the scene. A lot of your early like Dre and Snoop, they were coming out with a bunch of stuff. Sorry if I'm getting my names mixed up. And then Nelly exploded. It was a lot of coast stuff, not East Coast, West Coast, that kind of thing. So you mainly heard about your East Coast. You mainly heard about your West Coast. You heard your Nas, Jay-Z from the East. And then you go over to the West, you hear your Pac, you know, Snoop and everyone. And sorry, I'm forgetting Biggie as well from the East. So these guys. तो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता what happened was back in the day MTV पे एक शो आता था TRL Total Request Live. तो उसमें ना they used to do a top 10 hottest videos of the week and da. तो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ना hip hop started creeping into that because it was all pop, all pop, hardcore. Obviously the wave was led by Eminem. तो वो of course this was our like post middle school early high school thing. This is what we did after school. हम घर आते थे फौरन लगाया ठीक है ना टक टक TRL चल रहा है Carson Daly doing his thing, you know, top 10 चल रहा है. तो वहाँ से it started creeping in and I was like ऊपर से nobody helped me sing, so I was like छोड़ो यार चलो rap ही कर लेना थोड़ा सा, you know. So I was what 10 11 at the time. अच्छा. तो वो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता I started you know listening to more hip hop. MTV and BET, these two channels. BET was basically it stands for Black Entertainment Television. So BET was mostly hip hop and R&B. Right. So MTV पे भी आपका होता लेकिन majority it was more like quote unquote white America music. Yeah. तो वो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता तो वहाँ से मतलब मुझे खुद एक वो कीड़ा मैं कहना चाह रहा था मैंने कहा पता no कीड़ा for sure. Yeah. तो you know I started messing around with early stage names. मतलब मुझे याद है मैंने अपना सबसे पहला नाम रखा था Carrots. अच्छा. KARATZ because my last name is Karamat. तो उसको मैंने carrots बना दिया like you know like carrots like 24K with a Z, so you know you're cool. ताकि वो emails नहीं होती थी XX underscore ऊपर नीचे आगे पीछे. तो पहले carrots रखा, फिर पता नहीं कुछ और अजीब सा नाम रखा था मैंने. One name I kept was like Prof, PROPH, Prof.
Like a prophet का
नहीं nothing like that. It was more like a I'm always big into these cool superhero type things where it's like prophecies fulfilled and the chosen one is coming, the hero is coming. So it was a short form of that. I was like, oh, I'm Prof. Right. Will be as such that didn't click. So aisa, and then of course with my childhood friends, we started dabbling together eventually with things. And उस ज़माने यार मैं अभी भी if you look at my playlist gym में कहीं भी it's all late 90s to early 2000s. Like I would say from like 98 to like 2004-5. Best era of music ever. You can fight me on this, ठीक है ना? मतलब hands down. और वही चीज़ें अब copy हो रही हैं. Like वो चीज़ें like you hear so many songs nowadays जो beat samples उठाए हुए हैं, जो पता नहीं जो lines उठाई हुई हैं पुराने गानों की उनको sample किया हुआ है. मतलब just numerous songs have been sampled now. Right. So that is when it really blossomed. Right. I would say around 99-2000. So eventually and then it turned into like a proper thing. मेरे बॉय ने अपना स्टूडियो सेटअप किया, मैंने अपना स्टूडियो सेटअप मैंने तरले करके अम्मी बाबा से बिकॉज एक्चुअली डीप डाउन अम्मा के दिल में यही था ना कि चलो इससे आगे जाके ना अपनी एक वो करवा लूँगी, ख्वाहिश पूरी करवा लूँगी डॉक्टर वाली. तो अभी जो है ना इसकी छोटी खुशियाँ पूरी कर देते हैं. तो वो यू नो आई डिड माई थिंग, आई सेट अप माई लिटिल स्टूडियो, आई हैड माई विंडोज 2000 PC, यू नो यू नो इनिशियली तो हमने वो ब्रो उनसे स्टार्ट किया. वो नहीं वो टेबल माइक्स होते थे like you और फिर like you would see the
MSN Messenger के साथ जो आते थे.
bro, we started recording on that. Can you imagine?
Wow.
One take में पूरा गाना. और वो अल्लाह की, like I swear, like the quality of those, yeah, the audio quality is bad, but the way we did the song na, like you would not be able to guess, like these guys are like noobs.
Yeah.
मतलब मैं वही हैरान होता हूँ आजकल के बच्चों पे, मतलब how are they so like इतने ऑफ टून ऑफ की जाना बीट. हम लिटरली एक टेक में हम एक दूसरे के वो भी करते थे, वो एडलिब्स, लाइक मैं कह रहा हूँ डर पीछे से मेरे बॉय कहता है ये he's like come on
और इधर एक माइक पे हो रहा है.
bro विंडोज साउंड वो क्या था, विंडोज साउंड रिकॉर्डर, एक ही गो में रिकॉर्ड पूरा गाना 3.5 मिनट का डन अपलोड. मतलब like
I think that's the rawness of that na was the reason why a lot of the artists from that time,
of course,
उनके फंडामेंटल्स बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग हैं. जो कि आई फील लाइक आजकल के टाइम के ऊपर यू डोंट इन्वेस्ट अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम इन डूइंग द बेसिक्स. और आप सीधा आपको पता है क्या है, मेरे पास बात, मैंने गाना शुरू किया या मैंने बोलना शुरू किया और अब मेरे पास इनफ टूल्स हैं कि मैं उसको खिला के हैक कर सकता हूँ.
अब वो हो गया ना, मार्केट इज लाइक इट्स सो, वो क्या है, व्हाट्स द वर्ड, इट्स ऑन द टिप ऑफ माय टंग, सैचुरेशन बहुत, हाँ सैचुरेशन इतनी हो गई है कि अब मजबूर हैं बेचारे, मतलब दे हैव टू लाइक टक 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 टक, यार अब पहली वीडियो निकालनी है, अच्छी होनी चाहिए, थोड़े पैसे लगाने चाहिए, ये करना चाहिए. अब वो टाइम नहीं रहा ना कि मतलब आई मीन फिर भी you can have some dumb luck, like you can do some zero budget thing and it can go huge because people connect with raw stuff more than they do with the fancy stuff na.
I feel like wave आई थी fancy की, जो Gen Z आ रही है ना particularly, they're more interested in like this edgy raw very like अगर वो विंडोज मूवी मेकर वाली फील्स वापस आना शुरू हो गई हैं बड़ी उस तरह की.
No doubt. वो you're talking about those filtered photos and
exactly,
मतलब बंदा कहता है यार ये मेरा बचपन था.
exactly. और वो ये है कि वो they're actually like वो 2 घंटे लगा के उसको एडिट करते हैं
to make it look bad. To make it look bad, exactly. It's like, bro, been there, done it. Windows Movie Maker, I did that. You can still find my first music video on my YouTube channel.
अच्छा.
Windows Movie Maker में ही edit हुई है. और I made sure काफी artisans जाके आगे जाके अपनी चीजें private कर. I'm like, no. Never forget where you came from. No,
you have to see the journey.
Like, you gotta see where it comes from.
And I think अगर मैं ये भी देखूँ ना कि आजकल a lot of people I talk to, again आपकी म्यूजिक इंडस्ट्री में भी होंगे, मैं अगर यूट्यूबर्स की बात करूँ, व्लॉगर्स की बात करूँ, कंटेंट क्रिएटर्स की बात करूँ, they're just like मुझे अच्छा कैमरा चाहिए, मुझे अच्छी एडिटिंग रिग चाहिए. और मुझे याद है लाइक यू सेड, वो जो माइक था ना वो हमारे लिए वो था कि व्हाट इनोवेशन, कि एक सीधा कंप्यूटर में मेरी आवाज लेकर जा रहा है, यू नो, एंड एवरीथिंग दैट यू हैड, व्हाटएवर यू हैड was a means to an end to make shit work.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, अगर पेंटिंग करनी है, फोटोशॉप नहीं है तो MS Paint है,
bro.
पिक्सल पेंटिंग करो बैठ कर.
बड़े masterpieces बनाए MS Paint पे.
Yeah.
It sounds like we sound like two old uncle. अरे यार मेरे ज़माने में ना मुज़म्मिल, मैं तुम्हें बताऊँ. लेकिन
but I feel like it was a magical time.
100%, bro.
You know, and computers.
ये चीज़ नहीं थी ना, ये चीज़ नहीं थी.
And social media नहीं था, but you're constantly looking at someone who's better than you. You had a computer, and computer was a beautiful device that enabled you to do brilliant things.
100%.
But so now we know, you know, that's where you sort of got into rap and hip hop.
और फिर वो ऐसा got into it कि बस मैं like it became the core of my personality and like who I am now. Like I credit a lot of my personality to like hip hop, like the attitude that it brings, you know, the confidence that it brings, and just the overall like एक बंदे का एक जो swagger होता है ना, you gain a lot from hip hop.
Very interesting, very cool. So early 2000s when you were in the US, and then at what point did you move, and did you move alone or did your family move as well?
तो मैं basically एक रातों रात मेरी प्यारी अम्मी को एक वो आया, उनको इल्हाम हुआ कि इसको डॉक्टर बनना चाहिए. Actually I'm the youngest of 4. तो बाकी तीनों पे एक्सपेरिमेंट फेल हो गया ना, तो मेरे पे ना चलो इस पे ना, और मैं था भी यार, देखो
what do the other 3 do? What sort of careers did they pursue?
My eldest brother, he is director at K Electric in Karachi.
Right.
तो किसी की बिजली बंद करवाना हो तो मुझे तो मेरे जो दूसरे भाई होते हैं, after shifting around, everyone was in Orlando at one point.
Right.
We all sort of dispersed. मतलब I dispersed much earlier. Family उधर ही रही थी. They dispersed in mid 2010s. मतलब मेरे दोनों भाई एकदम से भाईजान decided to shift back to Pakistan with his family and all that. And then Adil bhai, my other brother, he went to Dubai and then Dubai to Canada.
Right.
That's where my bhabhi is from. तो वो उधर जाके settle हो गए and now he's yeah, I'm always really confused about him. He's a software engineer.
Right.
But he's done mashallah, he's done his MBA. Big influence on me when growing up because obviously being मेरा इतना एज गैप था ना सिबलिंग्स के साथ बहन तो she's at number 3 me and भाईजान are 16 years apart.
That's very interesting. I'm the youngest as well, and my older sister is 16 years apart from me as well. So I can completely understand that it's not a behan bhai wala rishta, it's more like a motherly or a fatherly figure.
100%. So Adil bhai always, my second eldest, me and him are a decade apart. So he always kind of like kept me close by and taught me a lot of things growing up and you know like अगले दिन मेरी conversation हो रही थी उनसे यही इस पे WhatsApp पे तो मैंने उनको because मैं अपने ना जो मेरे सबसे बड़े भाई के nephews हैं वो अच्छा so my again crazy just everyone keeps moving around my sister-in-law and the kids of my eldest brother who were in Karachi they just shifted to Pindi.
अच्छा.
तो वो उनको हमारे ऊपर वाला apartment मिल गया.
Right.
तो in the Askaris ना तो अब मेरे जो बड़े 2 nephews हैं माशाल्लाह they're huge तो वो उनको मेरे साथ जिम जा रहे हैं तो वो मैं अपने भाई से कम्युनिकेट कर मैं I was like यार hats off to your patience how did you do it with me I was like मैं फिर भी इतना नैला नहीं था जितनी ये जनरेशन है ये Gen Z जो है ना ले this meme and woke and you know this kind of generation मैं इतना like Fortnite generation मैं नहीं था मतलब मैं फिर भी थोड़ा WWF और you know hip hop rap era वाला बॉय था ना तो मतलब मेरा वो शौक था इंटरनली जिम शिम जाना और ये सब थोड़ी एक्शन you know like कुछ फिजिकल एक्टिविटी होनी चाहिए अब तो भाई फिजिकल बोल दो तो
But I also saw that you were considerably skinny early on right? And now from there to here quickly I don't want to take too much of time on that but
of course
how did that happen
because हुआ भी ऐसा था
अच्छा
मैं रात को सोया सुबह उठा बड़ी बन गया नहीं यार it was a long struggle but I think on and off 12-13 साल लगे
अच्छा 13 साल of consistent gymming
नहीं is it inconsistent
inconsistent I would probably say
Google it later तो yeah on and off because school ठीक है फिर स्कूल ख़त्म फिर ये MBBS शुरू हुआ तो वो एंड में एग्जाम आते मैं ऐसा छोड़ता था फिर शुरू करता मतलब बट द थिंग with exercises muscle memory is a thing
right
so it kicks in like you know that's why you see all these actors all of a sudden they lose weight then gain weight then lose weight then gain, you know body बनाते हैं body छोड़ते हैं body बनाते हैं तो मतलब on and off 10 to 12 years to like how I am now और लोगों को मज़े की बात है because once you come into the limelight and they see this current version of me they forget कि I was that skinny relatable guy जो हर सड़क का बंदा बंदी देख के रिलेट कर सकते हैं यार ये तो मेरे जैसा है
हाँ बिल्कुल
मेरे जैसा बॉय है यार अब वो देखते हैं कहते हैं यार ये तो पता नहीं बड़ा एटीट्यूड no I'm still that skinny kid on the inside you know?
yeah
but you know no one sees the journey.
Absolutely so you graduated from MBBS
I'm done I finished 2016 with my house job everything done
and you're not pursuing that anymore
no
fascinating
yes
a few things that fascinate me before I move purely to the music wali conversation you and your family moved from the US or at least part of your family
I initially moved by myself.
You initially moved and then your sister is still there
हाँ आपा उधर ही है आपा's in Pennsylvania and भाई Canada भाई दूसरा भाई कराची
so Karachi so your brother moved to Karachi and you came to Pindi
हाँ मैं नहीं सबसे पहले मैं ही आया था पाकिस्तान
अच्छा
हाँ MBBS जब हो गया मेरा सब कुछ हो गया था तो I came by myself from the suburbs of Orlando straight into
Pakistan
the Moti Mahal Rawalpindi Medical College उसको कॉलेज था अब तो यूनिवर्सिटी बन गया ना तो कॉलेज बॉयज हॉस्टल आय हाय क्या एक्सपीरियंस था वो
अच्छा तो पाकिस्तान आना बेसिकली ये था कि मेडिकल के लिए आना था and then you came to Pakistan
शायद मुझे कोई अच्छी लड़की पसंद आ जाए मैं पाकिस्तानी लड़की से शादी कर लूं हाँ ये भी अम्मा का एक वो था
आगे या नहीं है क्या अच्छा so eventually you came back you fell in love and you stayed is that what it is or is it more of okay you're still because mere pichhle dino Hamza I mean one of a very young very talented YouTuber was sitting here he grew up in the US मैंने उससे ये सवाल पूछा मैंने कहा you know everybody's sitting here and thinking के how can I leave
इधर क्यों आते
हैं you know so what were your reasons
yeah okay I was back and forth मैं आगे पीछे हो रहा था मतलब कि summer break I चला गया 2-3 months with the boys, kicked it, came back, you know, did my thing. What kind of drew me here? देखो अपना मुल्क होता है, no doubt.
Right.
I sort of वही वाली वो एक वो I don't know if it's a meme or a quote, you know, like I'm too haram for the halal people and I'm too halal for the haram people, that kind of thing. So I would say, like, you know, initially it was like I was too American for Pakistan, or udhar jaake I felt like I was too Pakistani for the Americans. Like it was a middle ground thing.
Yeah.
Ab with time and experience and age and wisdom and knowledge and all those kind of things, I feel like I've found that sort of balance. Plugging my own song. But, so I found that perfect balance, right? So the thing that kind of made me say, I always say this to my friends. Here I'm a shark in a pond, but there I'm sort of a, you know, I'm a shark in an ocean of oceans.
You're probably one of those small sharks, like
yeah, you know, not even like a big shark.
Yeah,
you know,
it makes sense. And I feel like it's basically like purely as a businessman. अगर आप देखें ना, तो it's purely about opportunity. Why would you go in a place where all the problems have already been solved? If you're a problem solver, you go to a place where problems need to be solved, and that's where the opportunity lies, right? That's a smart mentality, and I think that's a winner mentality as well.
And there came a time where I just I want to sort of bring this wave. I don't know, पता नहीं लोग ऐसे बात करते हैं नहीं करते हैं, बोलते हैं मेरा ये plan है, मैं ये कर दूंगा, but I want to bring this wave of like sort of quote unquote like एक positive change लानी है.
Yeah.
Like इतनी negativity है. मैं तो मतलब मैं यकीन करो ब्रो, अगर मेरा काम इस चीज़ से रिलेटेड ना होता ना, तो I would not have any social media. I'm a big believer of the old celebrity. Where you knew nothing about your favorite artist or celebrity actor, what they were doing. कहाँ वो खा रहे हैं, कहाँ वो सुसु कर रहे हैं सुबह उठ के,
क्या वो बोल रहे हैं, क्या वो सोच रहे हैं,
किधर वो vacation पे जा. No. Like I'm a mystery ना. Like वो mystery.
Curiosity का element.
Yeah, which you told me right before this interview off camera. Like there has to be that element of mystery.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps you interested. Like, I wonder what's coming next. And जब आप उनको हर रोज, I always equate a lot of my things to wrestling and these kind of things. Wrestling में अब जिस तरह wrestling आती है, it's again so saturated. अब हर हफ्ते एक ही शक्ल बार दे. You get sick of it.
Yeah.
उस ज़माने के, if you remember, like injuries वगैरह होती थी, हमें पता नहीं था ना. Like हमें we don't know if it's real or fake. It was so like borderline, like, you know, like the line was so blurred. उस वक्त ये होता था कि कुछ मुझे याद है, I think Triple H was he got injured, he tore his quadriceps muscle, he went away for like 11 months, came back, mind blown, like it was like, whoa, like the crowd went nuts. तो मतलब these are the things that are like fascinate me. तो ये एक ना वो मैं चाह रहा था, तो एक positive wave ऐसी लानी है कि we make more human connections.
Yeah.
Rather than, you know, the digital matrix. I got the matrix.
Yeah.
The matrix connections, you know. So I feel like that was a big thing that I wanna change. Yeah. I wanna कुछ ऐसा कुछ like करना है, because I feel like a lot of our celebrities, influencers, all these kind of people, like अभी भी एक ये सामने रख के बोलते हैं. You know, आप बोलो, no doubt. Like be aware of your audience.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, you know, don't be afraid to like express yourself.
Yeah, like I feel like I honestly feel like मैंने पिछले दिनों एक Instagram पे post भी डाली थी कि life is a circus and we're all clowns. I feel like we're all living in a circus, right? We're performing. Everybody is doing a lot of performative work.
Yeah.
Where they're not really themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
कोई भी आके ये नहीं कर रहा. A lot of people I sit down and talk to, वो कैमरे में के कैमरा बंद होता है and they're just like raw. कैमरा ऑन होता है, they're just like, you know, this face and आप कहते हो कि यार ये चूना लग रहा है मार्केट में साला के साला, you know what the hell.
आप थोड़े sexy बनो, no doubt, लेकिन at least be yourself.
At least be yourself.
Confident
exactly.
in yourself. Yeah.
So that's amazing, and I feel like particularly when it comes to, you know, हम पाकिस्तान को जब देखते हैं, a lot of times हम ये बात करते हैं कि, you know, it's so dakhinusi, it's so conservative, it's so this and it's so that, but we also see, you know, 60% of the population is less than 30.
Yeah.
And you know, you're 32, you're just right there at the edge. 33.
Right?
Lucky
number.
So you're right at the edge of that as well. And इस मुल्क को 20 साल बाद जो मुल्क की शक्ल बनाएगा, वो ये 60% बनाएगी ना. वो बड़े तो मतलब कंडोलेंसेस,
चाय और यार मैं बताता हूँ आपको किस तरह पॉलिटिक्स को करना
है. And the fact is कि that's the way of life. They are going to pass away.
100%.
Right? And then
it's a part of life.
This demographic is going to be in the power circles. This demographic, or power circles not just in politics, चाहे वो music हो जाए, चाहे वो, you know, other art forms हो जाए, चाहे वो industry हो जाए. So it's incredibly important that people like you, like for example, I love the passion, I love the fact that you have this vision of a future where you're like, I want to bring this positive change, whatever I can do, however I can do it in my own capacity. So now let's move to your space, right? Hip hop and rap.
Yes.
You looked at the American hip hop rise very closely. And I think you sort of knowingly or unknowingly आपने स्टडी भी किया होगा वो उस टाइम पे क्या हो रहा है, किस तरह से इवॉल्व कर रही हैं
किताबें इधर होती थी, सीडीज उनके लेफ्ट पे होती थी.
Exactly, right. And now in Pakistan I see कि past 5 years के अंदर you got like पहले तो मुझे याद है कि वो when I was in college 11-12 के आसपास यूनिवर्सिटी, तो रैपर्स जो होते थे ना वो बस होते थे टैलेंट शो पे आगे ना कोई बच्चा होगा जो रैपिंग परफॉर्म करके चला जाएगा, and then 15-16 में ग्लैमर आना शुरू हुआ हिप हॉप के अंदर, and you saw a lot of people going incredibly big, and अब तो हमें नजर आता है कि and I'll be honest, this is not my genre, so apart from Faris Shafi, like Faris Shafi I worship him कि उसका जो भी आता है गाना वो I listen to that, but other than that मैं ऐसा नहीं सुनता. Whenever I talk about this, मैंने एक दफा Instagram पे डाल दिया Faris Shafi, what a king. और मुझे जो मेरी ऑडियंस ने आके बुचर किया कि यार तो नहीं, तलहा यूनस एंड तलहा अंजुम एंड लहरी अंडरग्राउंड, एंड आई सॉ के अच्छा, so there is like this real passion for hip hop now in Pakistan.
No doubt.
So how do you see the industry?
Well, let's not let's address the elephant in the room. I think honestly hip hop सबकॉन्टिनेंट में मैप पे अब आया है बिकॉज ऑफ सैडली गली बॉय. ठीक है, इंडिया ने किया, बॉलीवुड ने किया, द वे इट काइंड ऑफ एक्सप्लोडेड, ऑल ऑफ अ सडन ऑल आइज आर ऑन, ओ माय गॉड इधर भी एग्जिस्ट करते हैं, वाओ. लाइक हम कर रहे थे like you mentioned, both the Talas were doing it. I was there. Adil from Islamabad, Dar, Faris हो गया, बॉय था लाहौर का, यंग देसी हो गया. मतलब इफ़ यू टेक इट बैक लाइक 9-10-11 years, तो we were there, we were doing it, देसी ठुमका, मतलब you cannot deny आज तक वो एक
huge,
अभी तक मतलब मैं तो बड़ा वो इसे मैं अबे इसलिए शक्ल ये बदली है ताकि उसके वो छोड़ दो उसकी जान, तो the thing is it came into the limelight because of this film,
right?
Then यार I kid you not, last year ही आई थी. मुझे जितनी ब्रांडों की कॉल्स आई हैं उस फिल्म के बाद, आई वाज इन शॉक. आई वाज लाइक वाओ. पहले होता था लाइक साल में शायद 1-2 दफ़ा, उस वक्त लिटरली महीने में मुझे कुछ 7-8 आई थी.
अच्छा,
इट वाज इनसेन. एंड देन पीपल स्टार्टेड लुकिंग एंड द फैन बेस स्टार्टेड राइजिंग एंड लाइक ओ माय गॉड, हाँ हम इधर ही थे इतने अरसे से, देखो हमें. तो now I feel like it has a fighting chance,
right,
like in the music industry. Like again, the Karachi boys are all doing a good job being at the forefront. Talas ho gaye, idhar north ki taraf aa jao aap, to you have me, Hashim, Dar, Adil, the younger guys like Fadi, Ziru, the guys with us on Pindi, Shuja, Hamzi,
right,
all of us. Khabar ho gaya. Well, Khabar is not really hip hop, but wo bechara wo घसीटा गया साथ hip hop में. I mean, he's trying to do more. Well, I keep trying to push him to do pop music. So I think he has a really bright future in pop. लेकिन अब ये है कि like now it's like थोड़ा ज़रा
अब अपना टाइम आ गया.
मैं जा रहा हूँ.
अब आप कह रहे हैं कि इट्स अ ग्रोइंग स्पेस, राइट? यू आर सेइंग कि अब वो लाइमलाइट में भी आ गई है, और अब वो सुपरस्टार्स उभरते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं.
Now you have like your honestly, like I would love to see a separate category for hip hop and well, R&B not so much, but yeah, hip hop आपकी ये award shows में क्यों नहीं, why not? मतलब इतने हैं, well, like yeah, you see your pop singers everywhere, rock सब कुछ चल रहा है, लेकिन जिस तरीके से ये explode कर रहा है, like I would love to see it and I will push for it. मैं जितनी मेरी है influence, reach, power जो भी है, I will push for it. You should have a separate, ये नहीं कि Song of the Year में घुसा दिया, Best Album of the Year, ठीक है, वो भी ठीक है, that's okay, that's fine. You have your mix of all the genres, but have a dedicated category as well. क्या पता हमें खुद ही फिर करना पड़े, खुद ही एक वो शो पैदा करना पड़े, जिससे देसी बैटल लीग, दिस वाज डार एंड अबूदीन, उनका ब्रेन चाइल्ड था आज से कोई 8-9 साल पहले. Why not we have battles here, why don't we do this kind of thing? तो वो अब आहिस्ता आहिस्ता look where it's gone. Like अब छोटी छोटी baby leagues पैदा हो रही हैं like all over the. I think growing space is a good way to put it, definitely.
Right. And obviously growing space है तो जब भी वो growing space होती है तो उसमें पैसा नया नया आना शुरू होता है तो you get a certain amount of what I would probably say is कि it's not comfort money. Or comfort money I would say, like fuck you money नहीं होता कि it's not there yet, but we have probably a time when people can make some sort of a sustainable income from it.
For sure. अभी नहीं. I wouldn't say अभी नहीं. Time अभी भी लगेगा. I think साल 2 लग सकता है.
Right. So that was my next question.
It again depends. Go for it.
And this includes not just for hip hop and rap, but also wider music industry की बात में अगर करूँ कि हमने ये assume किया था कि music industry का पैसा जो आ रहा है, apart from ठीक है brand endorsements वगैरह, अगर आप बहुत superstar निकल गए तो आपको अच्छी brand endorsement मिल जाएगी.
Of course.
वरना आप concert से कमाते हो. And then COVID came and everybody's dying. So what is the future of monetization of this industry look like?
Abhi recently there's rumblings I'm hearing that Spotify is apparently coming to Pakistan.
That's what I'm hearing as well.
Yeah, Bajao is doing a really good job. Bajao is this local
I know Vidly and Bajao ये दोनों कहाँ
exactly. तो उनका I think अभी soft launch हुआ है. They haven't done like a proper launch. Maybe because of COVID, maybe because I don't know what it is.
But still I've heard कि उनके 200,000 paid subscribers हैं. And
Bajao is again shout out to Bajao. They're doing a really good job.
Right.
I don't know Spotify का क्या model होगा क्या नहीं होगा लेकिन for the time being I feel like जो अभी from the 14 through 22 23 age group है ना, if they're starting out with music or like they're passionate, they should really look into this service and how to get in with them and sign up with them and get their music on there. Because it's a big, like honestly, like they're doing a really really nice job. I just wish they'd launch it properly now.
Yeah.
Like, उसका भी अब होना
and I feel like Spotify जो है ना वो अगर आएगा भी ना तो वो SCCA को target करेगा. So you got like a very very small dedicated like
exactly
English listening audience, but masses are not really sort of looking towards that.
Of course.
जो big number आपका आता है वो probably I would look at Bajao. I would say Patari, but Patari somehow screwed it up. I don't know why.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like Patari was going so well. मतलब वही बात है. They were almost the first.
They were the first and they had built the brand. Like brand भी बन चुका हुआ था ना. Everybody knew about Patari.
Yeah, no doubt.
And for some reason they're just like confused about what direction they want to take and how they want to go about it. Like
I mean, still, Patari's like, they're good. They're doing fine. But like जहाँ वो सही उस पे कर सकते थे ना. Like they could have like cashed in on like pushing the younger generation and the listeners and the smartphone generation. वो उन्होंने नहीं किया सही से.
वो बिल्कुल भी नहीं किया. And partnerships उस तरह से भी नहीं हुई ना कि जिस तरह like for example musicians हैं. इंडिया में जिस तरह मैं देखता हूँ कि गाना चल रहा होता है उसी के दरमियान में जो उनके प्लेटफॉर्म स्ट्रीमिंग सर्विसेज हैं वो आ जाते हैं कि ऑल्सो लिसन हियर ऑल्सो लिसन देयर हंगामा एग्जैक्टली एंड इट्स सॉर्ट ऑफ लाइक द इंडस्ट्री pulls itself together, right? जो गाने वाला है उसकी अपनी ऑडियंस फिर उधर जाती है और उधर से मोनेटाइजेशन आती है तो वो सिंगर को जाती है.
Exactly.
वो चीज़ अनफॉर्चुनेटली नहीं हो सकी जो कि I feel like now again maybe platforms like Bajao might be able to solve that problem.
Hopefully,
particularly with the monetization aspect of things.
तो उधर अगर if they work on that, if they again who knows what Spotify does, then I feel like it is possible for like a sustainable possible, not for sure, possible. तो लेकिन वही बात है, it all depends कि किस तरीके, बिकॉज वो जहाँ तक मतलब if they do their whole thing in dollars, फिर वो डॉलर से कन्वर्ट करते कराते वो all these fees, foods, tax, ये वो कर वो you get not even pennies bro, like pennies के pennies milli pennies, like वो micro pennies मिलेंगे आपको. तो वो you know, let's see. That's why I said Bajao is, hopefully I hope they can pull it off. They can keep whatever they're doing right now and just make it bigger.
Right. So there's the platform there, and then what else do people have potentially that can monetize?
It was the shows, man. It was really the shows. आपकी gigs, मैं बताता हूँ, I'll tell you personally, we dropped Pindiye Valentine's Day this year, right? महीना गुजर गया, hit 2.5 million organically, no push, no nothing. अच्छा, there's this huge confusion कि ना यार वो डकी ने भी लगाया, फलाने ने भी लगाया. अबे उन्होंने लगाया बिकॉज उनको गाना पसंद आया.
हमने भेजा नहीं.
Exactly.
We weren't talking.
I didn't even know this guy.
Yeah, I saw the song and I was like, wow, like
exactly.
वो गाना
good things spread on their own.
और it was, and I know for a fact because मैं देखता हूँ, मुझे नजर आ जाता है कहाँ पे engineering हो रही है. That song blew up organically.
On its own, dude.
110%.
Totally on its own. और यही, this is so funny कि मतलब ओ नहीं वो देखता हूँ वो इन्फ्लुएंसर से शेयर कर. हाँ ठीक है. The only I think at that time Pindiya wala time, the only YouTuber I was friends with was Rahim.
Yeah.
Rahim and I like we're pretty tight. मतलब Rahim हो गया, Remo हो गया, मामू परदेसी, ठीक है ना. और उनसे भी उनको भी नहीं मैंने भेजा, इवन दो मतलब मेरे उनको कोई शर्मिंदगी नहीं है, मैं भेज यार लगा दे यार शेयर कर, वो कौन नहीं करता यार, राइट. बट आई डिडंट इवन सेंड इट टू देम, वो खुद ही एवरीबॉडी स्टार्टेड डूइंग इट ऑन देयर, वी डिड नथिंग.
अच्छा, ये भी बड़ा मजेदार बात है ना कि लोगों को बड़ा ये होता है इस तरह की चीजें, कॉन्वर्सेशंस, और ये कि वो क्यों चल गया, ये क्यों हो गया, वो क्यों हो गया. अगर आप ऐसे देखें पॉप में जाए ना, तो पॉप में तो टिकटॉक की इंजीनियरिंग जिस लेवल की होती है.
ओह या
ठीक है
ब्रो, अभी मैं रास्ते में आ रहा था, आई वाज कमिंग हियर, तो मैं आई एम लिसनिंग टू यू नो वो अभी ये जो वीलो द वीलो साउंड, उमर का गाना कुछ 36 दफा बीच में ऐड आया है.
एग्जैक्टली.
आतिफ का गाना कोई इतनी दफा, मैं कहा यार ओके फाइन, इट्स नाइस, बट कैन आई लिसन टू माय म्यूजिक टू. तो वो यू नो लाइक देयर लाइक
इतनी दफा आपके दिमाग में वो डालेंगे कि वो ऑटोमेटिकली यू गोना लव इट.
एग्जैक्टली.
यू नो आसिम अजहर के गाने होते हैं, अमेजिंग आर्टिस्ट, बट देयर इज अ सर्टेन लेवल ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग एंड आई डोंट सी एनीथिंग रॉन्ग विद इट, बिकॉज़ यू नो लोगों तक शिप तो करना है ना, आप लोगों को पहले नजर आएगा, सुनेंगे तो फिर उसको पता लगेगा कि आपने सुनना है नहीं सुनना.
मार्केटिंग इज ऑल गुड, डू इट, पैसे लगाओ, सब कुछ करो, अगर आपके पास हैं, स्मार्टली लगाओ, बजट लगाओ, सब कुछ लगाओ. लेकिन भाई जो चीज़ एक जेन्युइनली आई है, दिस इज सो फनी टू मी. मैं आपको कमेंट्स मीम्स पढ़ने में आता हूँ, यार उन्होंने फलाने इन्फ्लुएंसर करवाया, ये करवा, अबे कुछ भी नहीं करवाया था हमने. लिटरली हम हाथ पे हाथ रख के बैठ गए. मेरी ये शर्तें लग रही थी लोगों से, मैं पराठे रोल की शर्तें लगा रहा था कि भाई मैं महीने में ये शायद होपफुली मिलियन कर जाएगा, तो अगर नहीं किया मैं खिलाऊंगा पराठे रोल, अगर कर गया तो आप मुझे खिलाओगे. ये मैं शर्तें लगा रहा था.
And the song is now at 16 million.
No, it's about to hit 13, I believe. It's the biggest Pakistani hip hop song, I think. Honestly,
Are you sure
like
it's 13? I just googled it. It was 16 million.
नहीं, it's about to hit 30. I think 12.7 पे बैठा हुआ है अभी. Like daily बढ़ रहा है, मतलब it's वही बात है ना, मतलब मुझे वो देसी ठुमका वाला टाइम याद आया.
12.7 million.
Yeah. तो वो टोटल ऑर्गेनिक प्यार मोहब्बत जो मिली है लोगों से, लाइक ऑल जेन्युइन. वी डिड नथिंग बट जस्ट मेक इट एंड पुट इट आउट देयर, दैट्स इट.
That's amazing. मुझे जो पर्सनली चीज़ अच्छी लगी थी ना पिंडी वाले सॉन्ग के अंदर, वो ये थी कि इट वाज वेरी रॉ, ऑथेंटिक पिंडी.
100%.
अच्छा, मुझे मसला ये है ना, अगेन प्लीज़ डिस्क्लेमर डाल लूँ ताकि मुझे अटैक ना आए. I don't know much about hip hop. I'm not the sort of the target demographic.
No, that's fine. I'm your safe zone.
Yeah. So this is more of as a student.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
But I the way that I see it, hip hop in Pakistan is कि मैं जब देखता हूँ ना, तो उसमें मुझे बस ये लगता है कि हमारे इन्फ्लुएंसेस, हम बाहर से इन्फ्लुएंस होते हैं. हम देखते हैं कि अच्छा न्यूयॉर्क के गेटो के अंदर जो है ना, वो उस काले बंदे के साथ क्या ज्यादती हुई, तो हम कहते हैं कि वो वाली पर्सनैलिटी हम है. यू नो, ड्रग्स, बूज एंड बिचेस, और बंदा कहता है भाई तू छड़ा फिर रहा है, केड़ी तेरी चले चरस कर लेगा शायद, थोड़ी सी बूज तो तुझे मिलती कोई नहीं है, राइट. एंड यू जस्ट रिपीटिंग दैट अगेन एंड अगेन एंड अगेन, एंड यू जस्ट लाइक I'd love to hear some problems, but those problems have to be based out of Pakistan.
Of course.
Things I can connect with, and if I connect with them,
relatable.
Yeah, I love it. मैं हिप हॉप नहीं सुनता, मुझे पिंडिया बड़ा अच्छा लगा था, primarily because पिंडिया जो है वो it showed me a side of Pindi that you were growing up, you know, that's what I experienced.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that, like the authenticity? Do you think that's true, that जो मैंने ये देखा है, या do you think कि मैं शायद गलत जगहों पे देखता रहा हूँ?
नहीं, I think there is some truth in what you're saying. Yeah, the thing is, take it back about 10 साल पहले, Facebook उस वक्त से ही थोड़ा rise पे था and everything. तो I had, you know, obviously जो अभी some current rappers nowadays, मतलब वो अपने bro please check my thing, ये वो, because obviously you look to your seniors ना, कि आप देखें, बताएं क्या ये वो. मैं अपने खुल टुल के honest opinion देता था. तो my thing was always like I kept drilling this point. मतलब कुछ लड़कों, मतलब obviously ज़्यादा majority लड़के ही हैं, अब थोड़ी लड़कियां मैंने देखी हैं who are doing hip hop. उस वक्त के जो लड़के थे who are doing, you know, good right now, तो drilling this point home कि यार be yourself. If you are yourself, it will resonate automatically. आपके audience के साथ automatically resonate करेगा, relatable हो जाएगा. जहाँ तक मतलब मैं अपनी मतलब मैं बता दूँ, यार my childhood, मतलब मेरा ये वो दोस्त है, मतलब I'll take my boys Devin and Mike, you know, shout out to No Front, Dev, Mike, I see you boys, right? I grew up with these guys. मतलब I've known them since I was, you know, 4 or 5 years old. So the thing is, and Mike is black, right? I have that quote unquote pass,
Yeah.
right? I've seen these things, even though वही बात है, even though they weren't like from the harsh streets, but like it was such a mix. Again, Orlando is such a melting pot of all the cultures and races and everything कि आपको हर चीज़ देखने को वो मिलती है उधर. So I have that. I've seen that thing. Like I've seen all those things that are talked about and जो ये boys करते हैं. तो it blows my mind. और मतलब कि यार क्यों? Why? Why you are not like, you know, you are not this.
Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, bro. Like just be your damn self. Be
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
जो आप देख रहे हो जो boys थोड़ी identity बना के बैठे हुए हैं अभी because they were themselves.
Yeah.
तो it's very important to आपकी अपनी idea, वरना you will get lost in the mix.
Yeah.
You'll get lost. You'll just be another yo, it's Muzamil on the mic. yo, you know, Muzi. You know, but like, so I mean, there's 50 other Muzis out there that are doing the same thing. So like, you don't want to be another one of those guys.
Makes
Do
sense.
something unique. Do something different. I remember this remember kya? He's still very much doing Young Desi.
Yeah.
ठीक है. A boy, again Hasan, I know him personally. I know him. तो मतलब हसन जब आया था, अब लाहौर से उठा था एकदम से, उसका ऐसा मजे का स्टाइल था ना कि आप, because they weren't just another Bohemia sound alike or, you know, copy or whatever. Bohemia did his thing. He's got his place.
And then for
in the
5 years,
genre.
all I heard was Bohemia in like university talent shows.
You know, yeah, and I think again, I would bring this back to a confidence thing. अगर आपको अपने आप में confidence नहीं है, वो जो मैं new wave की बात करता हूँ, positivity. So that wave includes about being confident in yourself, who you are. Like be confident. अगर आप मैले हो जाओ मैले. अगर आप बर्गर हो जाओ बर्गर. पिंडी बॉय हो पिंडी बॉय बनो. पिंडी है क्यों इतना चढ़ा जिस तरीके, because you know, like we were ourselves.
And it was a song about the celebration of, personally I saw it as a celebration of something that is so authentically Pindi.
Oh yeah, 100%.
While it's something जो कि, because I feel like जब Pindi as in pop culture generally इस्तेमाल होता है in a very sort of you know, अच्छा Pindi boys, अच्छा ये वो इस तरह से.
It's a very
हाँ, and then जब उसको
and I was like अच्छा ये sorry I'm cutting you off.
Yeah.
Main मकसद आज सबको ये चीज़ everyone should know. My main goal with Pindi है, जब इसको brain child किया पूरा, कि ये जो Pindi boy का stamp है ना, we're gonna make it so cool.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
everyone's gonna want to be a Pindi boy. और यही हुआ.
Exactly. Because what essentially happened was कि, और उससे पहले जब भी इसकी कोशिश की गई, और बहुत कोशिश की गई है Pindi boys के ऊपर गाने बनाएंगे क्या वो क्या,
लेकिन वो
but वो हमेशा ये होता था कि यार अंदर से I also know कि we're not good enough, but okay, I will make a song for you ना, okay. And for the first time, you were able to create something where an Islamabadi boy was like, oh, you know, मैं भी Islamabad, Pindi bhai सब Pindi है.
Exactly.
And that sort of a cultural shift is incredibly powerful. I feel like, you know, मैंने generally नहीं देखा recent times के अंदर इस किस्म की चीज़.
Oh, definitely. नहीं मतलब वही मैं कह रहा हूँ ना, मतलब कुछ ऐसे some of the people who shared it, like Obi, Usman Khalid हो गया, Sabah Kamar, ठीक है ना, अपना वो और पता नहीं कौन थे यार. There were so many people. There was another actress who and all these people just sharing it out. I'm like, mission accomplished. I was like, everybody want to be a Pindi boy, but ain't nobody cool enough to be a Pindi boy.
No, that's amazing. थोड़ा सा मैं controversial side पे आऊँगा, क्योंकि मुझे ये लगता है कि जो
I love controversy.
You know, hip hop side है ना, वो for some weird reason, maybe it's a lot of emotions or what, but there are always fights going on. Like मैं देख रहा था वो इंडिया में वो है ना, बड़ा उनका मशहूर चला था पड़ा
रफ्तार
और
एमीवे
का और उस तरह का, तो एक it's like a thing. And
yeah, it's a normal thing.
जिस तरह वो YouTube commentators का big system start हो गया. So I feel like rap का भी वो है. And I'll start off with something, this is probably not controversial, but this is something that I saw. I remember early 2015-16 में you were very close to Adil Umar, and then now I don't see him with you. To be honest, I don't see him at all. So what's going on there?
Yeah, Adil is still very much a good friend of mine. वो as far as I know, I think he's working hard on his album.
Right.
Again, मैं इस चीज़ से शाय हुए नहीं करता हूँ credits वगैरह देने से. Like Adil, जब मैं आया था initially पाकिस्तान, तो I was always used to being in a group. It was me, Mike and Dev. We had each other's backs. So much ज़िंदगी आसान हो जाती है ग्रुप में.
Right.
आपको पूरे गाने की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं लेनी पड़ती. तो when I came, I was like, I was like, oh, there's no dev, there's no mic, what do I do?
Yeah.
तो मतलब कि I had to sort of form my own lane. और मेरा यही था कि इतना मैं the dream, obviously you dream, you always got to dream big. So my dream was कि मैं इस level तक आ जाऊँ that I'm like, yo guys, I did it, come through, and boom, I'll be like, look, secret weapons मेरे ये थे, तैयार थे, and we can like explore. So initially, I met Adil back in 2009, I think. तो वो obviously वो हल्की बिल्कुल I think 5-10% होगी, वो थोड़ी सी हमारी थी ना कि वो भी इंग्लिश मैं भी इंग्लिश, तो मैं कहा अच्छा, वो उसने मुझे बाद में बताया था, कहता मैंने भी तेरा सुना था, मैंने कहा ब्रो तू कौन आ गया ये, तो वो बट वी जेल्ड सो क्विकली बिकॉज इतनी लाइक्स मिलती थी हमारी, the things that we enjoyed, all that, it was just a very quick gelling. Still very much a friend of mine, and I wish him the best, and I know he's working very hard on his album, इसलिए वो नजर नहीं आ रहा.
Chale, good luck Adil for your album. I'd love for you to come to the show as well.
Yeah.
Right before the launch.
So never a लड़ाई with Adil. No.
जबरदस्त.
He's always been a real one. Yeah.
अच्छा, एक अज़म सॉन्ग आया था आपका.
हाँ.
उसमें कुछ तस्वीर मैंने देखी.
हाँ.
वो मुझे थोड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग लगी. मैंने कहा कि इसके पीछे क्या कहानी चल रही है.
यार हाँ, उसमें देखो अज़म was just like, when you Google a movie and you see that Google summary on the side. So Azam was that. It was a Google summary of my journey, even वो मेरे वो बड़े भाई, he jokingly said, he's like, तूने बैलेंस का इंग्लिश, बैलेंस का उर्दू वर्जन बना दिया. तो मतलब ट्रू एंड सॉर्ट ऑफ अनट्रू. हाँ, उसमें कुछ तस्वीरें थीं जिसमें मैंने काफ़ी कमेंट्स भी पढ़े थे कि भाई ये सांप पे ये एक आधा ये मनहूस क्यों लगाई है शक्ल, तो वो अब मनहूस है तो लगाई है ना मैंने. देखो obviously there's some things I can't outright बिल्कुल ही जितना मेरा दिल करे मैं बोलने का, लेकिन मैं नहीं उस हद तक बिकॉज मैं क्यों ऐसे existence को मैं attention दूँ, right? तो so the thing is whatever I said was based on a very personal reason,
right? And
things that happened off camera,
right?
Off all media,
right?
And it was so deep that अगर कुछ लोगों को इसकी ऊपर से भी डिटेल्स सुनने को दे विल बी लाइक वाओ, सिर्फ एक तस्वीर पूरा इस पे तो एल्बम निकालनी चाहिए, लाइक इस पे लाइक दिस जो भी मर्जी कह दो. तो कहने का मतलब है थ्रू आउट जिस जो भी दैट अगेन द जर्नी, तो दैट पार्ट ऑफ माई लाइफ वाज आल्सो अ जर्नी बिकॉज when you bring somebody up with you, you drag them up from literally nothing.
Yeah.
So, which is so funny because it gets flipped the other way around. But sort of brought this. I'm just gonna keep saying existence. I'm not even gonna acknowledge that it as a person. So this existence, and you get them out there. You get their name out there. You push them and all them, and all of a sudden they jump ship to the next hottest thing.
Right.
Then they tuck udhar cancer ki tarah leech karke then tuck. They hop onto the next hottest thing. So yeah, social climbers exist in all forms of life. But my thing is, I'm very openly about my hate. So with this thing. But yeah. I think तुम वही address कर रहे हो, वही तस्वीरों के बारे में बताओ. लेकिन हाँ, so whatever tasveers were used in Azam were very much because they came from a very personal part of my life. And honestly, no regrets, RAGRETX wala, pindi wala regrets, because it was all a learning experience. I'm glad it happened the way it happened. Obviously, I didn't like it when it was happening, whatever was happening, and to what depth it was happening in. But वही बात है ना, लोगों को बस ऊपर से fluff नज़र आता है. They see the icing on the cake. They don't know कि केक के अंदर कितना जहर भरा हुआ था. तो खैर, लेकिन वही बात है, learning process था. It was a part of life experience, so all behind.
And I also find it very interesting, you were able to use art, a form of art medium to get that emotion out as well. Because a lot of times,
they say never piss an artist off.
Yeah.
They can do a lot of things.
Yeah. I do see a lot of this in hip hop. मैंने पहले भी इस बात का तस्करा किया कि किसी का गाना सुने तो कहते हैं कि haters are like this, haters are like that. You don't see Asim Azhar talking about haters. Why do you think that is? Why do you think hip hop is so aggressive as a art form?
Asim बोलेगा नहीं, Asim गा के सुना देगा मेरे haters.
He wouldn't talk
like
about
The Weeknd. The Weeknd is the best example. तुम कभी just listen to what The Weeknd is saying.
Yeah.
Like seriously, you're so enthralled by his music और उसकी आवाज़ और उसकी क्या गाने हैं boy के. लेकिन just listen to what he's saying. He's a rapper. He's essentially a rapper. he just sings it so beautifully.
कि वो आपको लगता नहीं है कि aggression आ रही है.
Bro, everyone gives the Weeknd a free pass, but if you just sit there for 5 minutes and listen to everything he's saying, you'll be like, God damn, this motherfucker, like, holy shit. Like, boy, ganda hai. Like, sahi ganda hai. So, matlab, you said why so much aggression?
Yeah.
Because I think that's where it originated from. Matlab, wahi baat thi, hip-hop was birthed from a place of struggle and from a place of, you know, sort of a fight, you know. Us zamane ka jo hip-hop tha. There's this documentary on Netflix, Hip Hop Evolution. I believe uske 6 parts hain. Like, and the beautifully made. 7th season apparently unka aana hai abhi, because they literally go from the beginning to literally to 2020 yahan tak pahunch rahe hain. तो उसमें जिस तरीके से उन्होंने, again, must watch for any hip hop fan, any even if you're interested into, you know, the culture and all that. तो वो I believe कि क्यों है aggression, क्यों है वो, because it was the core of hip hop is that, right? The core is the struggle, is the fight, the oppression. Because if you look back at African Americans, अमेरिका में, मतलब वो अब आज तक ब्रो हो रहा है. मतलब यू रिमेंबर अभी रिसेंटली क्या हुआ था, जो हमारे भी इधर बहुत एक्टिविस्ट पैदा हो गए थे, लेकिन मतलब आज तक दैट थिंग स्टिल एग्जिस्ट. तो यू नो इट्स अ फनी जोक. वन ऑफ माय फेवरेट कॉमेडियन डेव Chappelle said that, you know, it's like, Muslims, you know, we want to thank you guys for taking the heat off of us. So, you know, because it's still there to this day. So I think that's why, because you see you go back in the day जब नहीं थी rights, मतलब यार water fountain नहीं होते, वो अलग थे bro. मतलब for blacks, for whites, you know, bus sit in the back, stores alag, everything alag, you know. So the civil rights movement and all that thing happened. Martin Luther King happened, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, all these things happened. So eventually वो आपको यार आप कितना किसी को दबाओ until finally, you know, the kettle will explode,
blow up.
So
but there's something very interesting that you've said, and particularly if someone who is interested in hip hop जो कि ये सुन रहा है, मुझे personally लगता है when I see hip hop and when I see a lot of people, you know, being interested in it, जो हमने पहले भी बात बोली, be authentic, be yourself. I feel like a lot of times we talk a lot about, you know, हमारे साथ ज़्यादतियाँ हो रही हैं, a lot of people in Pakistan में बहुत ज़्यादतियाँ हो रही हैं, बहुत सारे लोगों के साथ हो रही हैं. But when it comes to hip hop, I feel like hip hop is, as an art form, if you're trying to understand what is hip hop is literally आपके अंदर जो आपका गुस्सा भरा हुआ है, जो भी ज़्यादतियाँ हो रही हैं, उसको एक आर्ट फॉर्म में लेकर आना, और उसको लोगों तक पहुँचाना. और जब आप उसको लेकर आते हैं तो I feel like a lot of people automatically then connect with it, right? Because they're just like, a lot of times when you have something that, or you feel something that is controversial, and in this country a lot of things tend to become controversial very quickly. So वही चीज़ controversial जब होती है और वो आप जाके एक status लिखते हैं कि I feel like this, then you are a horrible person. But वही चीज़ अगर आप rap form में लेकर आते हैं, so it sort of tones it down a bit and sort of makes it more digestible. तो वो चीज़ personally, और again मैंने पहले भी यही बोला था कि I would love to see a lot of this coming out of Pakistan. Like I would love to see, I don't want to mention the things that are happening in this country because I like not to make this space very controversial, but there's a lot of things. There are a lot of things, and उसके around I feel like कि जितनी marginalized communities हैं, जितने marginalized लोग हैं, वो इस art form को इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं definitely, you know, अपना गुस्सा लोगों तक लाने के लिए. And I do see कि hip hop artists जो हैं वो they've now become the rock stars of this time and age, क्योंकि उस ज़माने में आप सोचते थे rock stars को देखते थे तो, you know, they were like
the rebels and
exactly, and वो बड़ा गुस्से वाले आपको नजर आते थे. और वो hip hop artist, मुझे बड़ा डर था आपको बुलाने में, मैं कहा पता नहीं आप भी हमारे पे गुस्सा करेंगे, फिर आप कोई बात बोल देंगे, फिर कोई और मेरा शो देख के कहेगा कि ये बंदा कौन है.
वो जब वो फिर गुस्सा आता है माता सटक.
So, but honestly, Osama, it was an absolute pleasure having you at the studio. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me. I swear we could do a part 2.
Yeah, 100%. There's just so much to explore.
Oh, definitely.
I want to keep it down to 1 hour. We're at 57 minutes.
Ooh, lots of memes coming your way.
But yeah, so thank you so much for coming in and sharing your entire journey.
Thank you
for you guys, thank you so much for watching. अगर आप ये देख रहे हैं तो एक तो ये कि बेल आइकॉन जरूर दबा दें, सब्सक्राइब का बटन दबा दें. उसके साथ साथ,
can I say it?
Yeah. Go for it.
Click the bell icon. Wait, is it subscribe first or is it bell icon?
Subscribe first.
subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon right there.
level.
I always wanted to do that.
और इसी के साथ साथ जो लोग ऑडियो पे सुन रहे हैं वो वो भी पॉडकास्ट को सब्सक्राइब कर दें whatever platform you're listening to. This was Thought Behind Things. My name is Muzamil. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.